cheaply, and I've just attached it with a couple of G-clamps at the top, and this gives a cold steel look against the feminine soft look that we're looking for, and it's that fight that we're after between the two. The next piece of equipment we need to bring in is our main lighting to light the model. Now, Studio Flash is going to give our main source of lighting. Now, if you're doing this from home, you could just use the natural light coming through a window. And the flash here is not unlike the flash on top of your camera, but it's just much more powerful, and at the front we have a nice softbox, and this is what the name of this is, and it distributes and diffuses the lighting across the model. Now we're going to set this up so we get lighting, strong light this side coming across to dark this side. Now the next piece of equipment we need is a bounce. Now this piece of equipment is to put light underneath the model's eyes, because we don't want any shadows forming from this underneath. So this will catch some of the light and reflect it up. The next piece of equipment we need now is to bring in our camera. Now my camera is mounted on this studio pole. However, you don't need a pole like this. If you're just shooting at home, you can actually stand and hold the camera, but in this case I'm going to use this pole because I can get more angles with it, and I don't have to keep putting my camera down and coming back to adjust the shot. Okay. The next piece of equipment we need to remember here is to use a little step ladder. Now, in fashion shooting, a lot of the time we're looking down on the model or we're coming from underneath. And it's important to also put a twist on your camera so we can get a shot that looks like out of the norm, because we don't want it to look like a standard portrait. We're trying to create an image and a mood. Now, while shooting the model, it's very important to get her to loosen up, laugh and joke with her, tell her how good she's looking, and you are there to tell her how to move. Now, if she's a new model, she won't know how to move, so you might like to cut some pictures out and show her what you're trying to get, and you always ask permission to touch the model, so we can, for instance, ask her to move the hair. So we can touch the face, move the hair, we can push the hair back, and it's very important to ask permission to touch. And to move the shoulders, head tilted sideways, take the photo. And today I'm using a digital camera, but with film it's a little harder because you can't see what you're getting, but you've got to look through and just know what you're getting is what you see. With the added dimension of digital cameras, we can actually see straight away, and we get direct feedback, and we can ask the model to turn your head just a little bit to the right. That's it. Now, over to the left. That's it. Whoa. And there we have it. We've built this shot from scratch. We've looked at the purpose of the shot. We've looked at the makeup, the hair, and all the equipment. When it all comes together, we get the perfect modelling shot. Thank you.
Move your head. The other side. That's it.
Back of this camera, you can see the photo that's been produced, and most digital cameras will show a picture so you can get that instant feedback. Also, I'm using a flash sender. Now this sends a message directly to the back of my flash. It's an infrared sender, and it saves having cables going around which people can trip over. So we're always looking for ways to modernise the shot without having any cables to trip over, especially for the model. This is called a slave flash. Now it's just an under $50 flash that's run by batteries, and it picks up the flash of your own camera or of the studio lights. Now, if you haven't got a large budget, this is a great little tool to have, because we can set this on a pole. I've just got this on a monopod pole. We can hold this near the model, so when we shoot, we can actually light up the side or the back of the hair. Okay, head to the left. Take it. Now you might have seen there, this little flash, the slave goes off at the same time. It's set off by any flash, either a flash on top of your camera or the studio flash. And it can have cellophane put over to give great effects. I can either light the hair, the back of the hair, or even just out of the frame, the back of the silver could be lit up blue to give it even a harsher look. Now, as we said when we designed the shot, we were going to wrap the model in some metal to see if we could add that extra interest of coldness. Now this metal can be picked up from any hardware shop. We're just wrapping it around the model carefully, and we're going to use a piece of pipe cleaner just to tie it off at the back. And this will give a higher fashion look to the shot. We're just going to fix this at the top and the bottom, and we'll get our model to stand back in the position she was before. So at the back, we're looking like that, and stand her there. Now we're going to take this shot from head to here. We're going to miss out this section here. Turn your head around to the right. Now tilt your head up a bit more. Now if you tilt your head just that way a little bit more, now hold that. Beautiful, you're looking great. And again, and that's the shot.
That's it. That's it. All right.
Talking about backgrounds, we've got this metal that we've attached over the top here, but you could have this. This is a sheet of corrugated iron white. Now that can be lit up with cellophane over lights beautifully. Now you can use normal house incandescent lights. It doesn't have to be studio flash. You can set your camera and get some beautiful effects there. You can throw different materials over the background. You might have paper, you might have any sort of shiny gloss materials can look fabulous. You can even get a sheet of paper and glue dried leaves to it and stick up there and get a beautiful looking shot.